Didn't see you come in. Just motion controls. Welcome to the Brotherhood of Gaming Review Show. I'm your humble host, Eugene Morris, and I was just playing a little Mad World because, well, I felt like it. Why? Because I just got done playing this. Anarchy Reigns for the PlayStation 3. This little gem here is from Platinum Games. These are the same guys responsible for Mad World, Bayonetta, and Vanquished. I don't have that game. Well, I think that's enough lame attempts at comedy for one day. What do you think? Yeah. Here is Anarchy Reigns for the PlayStation 3. So let's start the review. Right after we're done with this. Anarchy Reigns is a sort of sequel to Mad World. And by sort of, I mean not really. It has the same characters, but in a whole new setting. The story of this game is, well, nothing special. It's just a simple revenge story. You play through 4 stages through 2 points of views. A black side, led by Jack Kamen, and a white side, led by Leo Victorian. After you complete the 2 sides, you then play a red side of the story, but I won't spoil that. The single-player campaign is akin to Dynasty Warriors, where you'll be beating up on hordes of goons that you can motor through pretty easily. But when the reign starts, that's when the tougher brutes come out, such as the mutants, who can kill you in a few hits if you're not careful. The stages have 2 styles of missions. The green missions are where you can collect points to unlock the orange missions, which advance the story. The orange missions are usually boss-style fights where you battle other characters right after watching talking heads explain what's going on. The green missions range from kill a number of enemies to carrying suitcases to target areas. Yeah, you heard me. Needless to say, some of these missions are pretty fun, while others are more tedious. Honestly though, the main point of the single-player mode is to unlock all the characters that you can use during online multiplayer. But when you do beat the game, you can replay the levels with any character you want, which is a nice touch. As in any good beat-em-up, you have a variety of attacks, from weak attacks, strong attacks, blocks, grabs, 360 attacks, and killer attacks. Using killer attacks will drain your killer gauge that you can replenish by landing normal attacks. You also have a rampage mode that will allow your attacks to become stronger for a period of time. All the characters control fairly similarly though, with the only real difference being their weapons. Overall, the controls feel great and they respond well as you unleash chaos on your opponents. As for the look of the game, well, I'll just say it looks very much like a Japanese kind of game. All the guys look like they walked off the set of Fist of the North Star, and all the girls look like... that. I know that Japanese is a bad word nowadays, as everything has to be westernized, Americanized, or white boy-anized, whatever. But I'm old school, and I like anime, so it's all cool with me. Oh, did I mention that Jack is voiced by Steve Blum?
I don't recall getting an answer to my question, and you getting an answer without giving me an answer. See, that wouldn't be fair.
The real fun part of this game are the stages themselves. You're free to grab items and weapons, and there are even crazy stage hazards, such as giant trucks running through them, jets dropping missiles, even black holes which randomly take you to other parts of the stage. Needless to say, there's always something crazy going down. Now, I pre-ordered this game from GameStop for my PlayStation 3. And by doing so, it came with a special code that gave me 2 extra modes to use in online multiplayer, and an additional playable character, Bayonetta. Alright, I've entered the code here. All I gotta do is hit start and we're off and running. Invalid. Yep, I had to wait a whole day before I could input the code because Sega forgot to turn them on. I called GameStop twice. I even emailed Sega. See, here's my email. Because damn it, I was gonna play with my Bayonetta! Anyway, in the multiplayer, you have many different modes that you can participate in, from capture the flag to an all-out battle royales. My personal favorite though is Death Ball, which is like a Platinum Games version of football, where you try to get the ball to the goal while killing each other. Needless to say, when you first start playing online, you will... and yeah, you get the point. But the more you get used to your character's nuances, the better you'll get. I just suck. Now let's take a look at the negatives of the game. Even though the combat is good and there are a variety of attacks, it still is pretty shallow, and it can get repetitive after a fashion. I gotta admit, the single-player mode does feel tacked on. As mentioned earlier, some of the missions are pretty lame. Because of the size and bulk of many characters, when there's so many people on the screen, sometimes the action gets very chaotic, especially in multiplayer mode. There are times when you won't even know who's hitting you. But the most annoying thing has to be the camera. The camera can get very sporadic at times, such as flinching all around and even getting stuck in walls. And as I mentioned before, this game does have a particular style that won't appeal to the masses. So, in the final verdict, do I recommend Anarchy Reigns? Well, if you're a fan of beat-em-ups and you don't mind over-the-top characters, crazy dialogue, and you like playing online, I definitely say it's worth checking out. Not to mention the best reason to get this game. Anarchy Reigns is what it is. It's nothing to expand your mind or your horizons, but instead it's junk food for the brain to allow you to get those aggressions out and do it in a fun way. And with friends. Can't go wrong with that. And with a price like that, it's definitely worth the bang for the buck. You've been watching the Brotherhood of Gaming's reviews. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure to check out the rest of our nonsense. And remember, keep on gaming, viewers.